Hello everybody, it's Matt here, the Gaming Bristolian. Today we're going to have a look at this. This is the NES Book, or the NES Book. This is from about 10 years ago. It's from Retro Gamer, who are a UK retro gaming magazine. I believe it's out of print now, but we're going to have a quick look at it. I'll pause on each page for a few seconds, so if you want to stop the video and have a look at it, then you can. It's a Metroid, I believe. Yep. It's quite interesting they show turtles there, because for those who don't know the story of the NES in the UK, basically first couple of years of its life, it came out 87 over here, didn't do particularly well, but in about 1990, about Christmas 1990, they released a bundled NES with Turtles, and Turtles was massive at that point over here, and it sort of gave the NES a little bit of success in the UK, which you hadn't really had before, but after that you started getting a few more people having it and a few more games coming out for it. Never quite done as well as a Master System over here, but yeah, I think this game here, Turtles, really pushed the NES, or at least over here it did. We got Castlevania, Mario 2. I don't know what that is. Donkey Kong Jr., Popeye, Final Fantasy. That is a Famicom, or Family Computer. That is basically the Japanese NES. When they released the NES, because this came out first in 83, I believe, and when they released the NES in 85, they redesigned it, but essentially we are the same console. Not quite sure I'd put Duck Hunter #1 in there. Probably have Mario 3 myself. Always quite like Kirby as well on a NES. What else you got? Dr. Mario's pretty good. Tetris. Quite like Micro Machines as well. Micro Machines, really good game. I think that is an unlicensed cart though, which is probably why they haven't included it, but you know. Ultimate Guide to Mario 3. Yeah, the last couple of worlds, World 8, 7 and 8, Mario 3 are absolute nightmare to finish. I've only ever finished this using save states. I've never actually finished with an actual NES cartridge. It is can be very tricky towards the end of this. Kind of an odd way to demonstrate Duck Hunt. Some geezer with a duck lips on, but never mind. Yeah, it's quite interesting as well. The Japanese Zapper is basically shaped like a Magnum. Like, it looks exactly the same as a Magnum, obviously with a wire. And I think when they released it in the US and Europe, they sort of changed it for this more plasticky, orangey looking thing. Which I understand, because obviously you don't want kids waving guns about. But yeah, it's just quite interesting the difference between Japan and West and how we view guns, really. Donkey Kong. Worth noting, NES version of Donkey Kong is missing a level. The arcade one has 4 levels, this only has 3 levels. But Nintendo seemed to really release this version, not the arcade version. It can be a little bit frustrating because you're basically only getting 75% of the game, but never mind. This is a wizard. If you've never seen a wizard, this is basically coming of age family film, but it features a lot of Nintendo product placement. It's probably more famous for that than it is a film. It's got a kid out of Wonder Years in it, and I can't remember his name. No, I think I had Christian Slater in it as well, briefly. That's it, Fred Savage, yeah, and Christian Slater's in there as well. I think I've only ever sat for it once, and probably not going to bother ever again. But it's interesting at the end, and they all play Mario 3. But yeah. So there's history of Castlevania, which of course started on a NES. I think the first 3 of them were on a NES. Rather camp-looking Dracula there. Oh. Top 25 greatest NES games. Got Buck Your Hair's pretty good actually, sort of underrated game that. Chip and Dale, Excite Bike, never played Shake Rock and Roll. So I probably prefer Double Dragon 2 over the first one, but it's pretty good, Double Dragon. Never liked Kid Icarus, never got on with it at all. Never even played that, never even heard of that one. Would have thought Kirby would be a bit higher than that. I really rate Kirby. Zelda 4, Mega Man 2. Yeah, I'm guessing it's going to be Mario 3, which, in all fairness, is probably the best game on the system. Yeah, there you go, Mario 3. Can't argue with that, because it's a fantastic game. This is Battletoads, made by Rare, who would later on in sort of a SNES and N64 era, particularly the N64 era, become big developer for Nintendo. A collector's guide. Yeah, those were the Codemasters, basically unlicensed cartridges, but they still worked. And there was that weird thing as well, you had to stick an official cartridge in it, and then plug that with that into the NES, and it sort of stuck out the end of it. Very odd, but I think it was all to get around with like the lockout chips. That's quite notorious, a Power Glove. In fact, that is as well the touchpad. But yeah, one of these sort of clever idea for the time, but I didn't think it really ever took off, the Power Glove. I always remember there's a bit in one of the Nightmare on Elm Streets where Freddy Krueger has a Power Glove on. That's all I think of when I think of a Power Glove. Yeah, top import games. Worth noting, Final Fantasy never actually came out in Power Regions, which is odd for such a big franchise, but I think it was only ever American and Japanese release. And Super Mario Bros. 2, of course. The Japanese release of Mario 2 is completely different from the European and American release. I believe our version's like a reskin of a game called Doki Doki Panic. This did eventually get released over here as Lost Levels. So if you ever see Lost Levels or anything, that is Japanese Mario 2. It's quite interesting on a piano one there. Sort of teach yourself a piano over NES, that's quite cool. So this is like a price guide. I presume this is more for PAL than it is for like American or Japanese, but anything in a red is basically worth quite a lot. So yeah, you got Predator, Mr. Gimmick, what else you got? Empire Strikes Back, Star Force, Solomon's Key 2. Right, and that is that. In case you're wondering, half this book is NES. The other part is Master System. I did do a video on a Master System last week. Yeah, and this is that. So, hope you enjoyed it. Hope to see you next time. And thanks for watching.